Mountains. Just saying the word sends a shiver down your spine. They are huge, they are powerful, they are home to incredible landscapes and creatures. But what exactly makes a mountain a mountain? Mountains are not just piles of dirt or rock. They are defined by their impressive height. They tower over the surrounding land. Most importantly, they have steep slopes that make them challenging to climb. Imagine standing at the bottom, looking up at a giant wall of rock and ice. That's the magic of a mountain. Mountains are Earth's natural skyscrapers. They are testaments to the powerful forces that shape our planet. In this essay, we'll embark on an adventure to understand these giants. The Earth's surface is in a constant state of change, a dynamic and ever-evolving landscape. It might look solid, but it's actually made up of giant plates that are always moving, pushing, and grinding against each other, like colossal jigsaw pieces in perpetual motion. It's like a slow-motion puzzle, with pieces that collide and create incredible formations, sculpting the very face of our planet. These powerful forces are called tectonic forces, the unseen giants that shape our world. They are responsible for creating some of the most impressive mountain ranges on Earth, like the majestic Himalayas and the towering Andes. Imagine two massive plates colliding head-on. The force is unimaginable, a cataclysmic event that reshapes the landscape. The edges of these plates buckle, fold, and uplift, pushing up huge masses of rock and forming mountains, a process that takes millions of years. But tectonic forces are not the only architects of these natural wonders. There are other powerful forces at play. Volcanoes, those fiery giants, also play a crucial role in mountain formation, adding a dramatic and explosive element to the process. When molten rock from deep within the Earth erupts onto the surface, it cools and solidifies, building up layer upon layer, creating new landforms. Over time, these layers can create towering volcanic mountains, like the iconic Mount Fuji in Japan. And then there's erosion, the relentless force of wind, water, and ice, constantly wearing down the mountains. Erosion might seem slow and gentle, but it's a powerful sculptor, gradually carving away at the mountains. It carves away at the mountains, shaping their peaks and valleys over millions of years, creating the stunning landscapes we see today. Volcanoes are like the Earth's pressure valves. Deep beneath the surface, molten rock called magma churns and bubbles. When the pressure builds up, it has to go somewhere. That's when volcanoes erupt, sending fiery lava, ash, and gas spewing into the air. As the lava cools and hardens, it forms layers of igneous rock. Over time, these layers build up, creating cone-shaped mountains that we know as volcanoes. Some volcanoes erupt with violent explosions, while others ooze lava slowly. But all of them contribute to the incredible diversity of mountain landscapes. One of the most famous examples of a volcanic mountain is Mount Fuji in Japan. It's a symbol of the country, with its perfectly symmetrical cone rising above the landscape. But don't be fooled by its beauty. Mount Fuji is still an active volcano, and it could erupt again one day. Imagine pushing two sides of a tablecloth together. What happens? The fabric buckles and folds upwards, right? That's similar to how fold mountains are formed. When tectonic plates collide, the incredible pressure causes the Earth's crust to buckle and fold, creating massive uplifts. These uplifts can be huge, stretching for thousands of kilometers. They form some of the most impressive mountain ranges on Earth, like the Himalayas, the Andes, and the Alps. These mountains are still growing today, as the tectonic plates continue to push against each other. The Himalayas, home to the world's highest peak, Mount Everest, are a prime example of fold mountains. Imagine the immense power it took to push up the Earth's crust and create those towering peaks. Section 5. Fault lines and block mountains. Not all mountains are formed by folding. Some are created by the Earth's crust breaking apart along fault lines. Think of it like a giant crack in the Earth's surface. When these blocks of rock move past each other, they can create mountains. Sometimes, blocks of rock are pushed upwards, forming uplifted blocks called horsts. These horsts become mountains, while the blocks that drop down between them form valleys. Block mountains often have steep, straight cliffs and flat tops. The Sierra Nevada mountain range in California is a great example of block mountains. It's a majestic landscape of towering granite peaks and deep valleys, shaped by millions of years of faulting and uplift. Section 6. Everest, Fuji, and the Balkans mountain celebrities. These towering giants have fascinated humans for centuries, drawing adventurers, artists, and nature lovers alike. Mountains are like celebrities of the natural world, each one standing out with its own unique charm and allure. Each one has its own unique personality, history, and stories to tell. They are not just geological formations, but living legends that have witnessed the passage of time. Let's meet a few of these mountain superstars, whose names echo through the annals of history and adventure. Mount Everest. Standing tall at 8,848.86 meters, 29,031.7 feet above sea level, Mount Everest is the undisputed king of all mountains. Its sheer height and challenging conditions make it a dream destination for climbers. Located in the Himalayas, it attracts climbers from all over the world who dream of conquering its icy slopes. The journey to its summit is a test of endurance, skill, and determination. Mount Fuji. With its almost perfectly symmetrical cone, Mount Fuji is a symbol of Japan and a source of artistic inspiration for centuries. Its beauty has been captured in countless paintings, poems, and photographs. This active volcano is also a sacred site, and many people make the pilgrimage to its summit each year. Climbing Mount Fuji is not just a physical journey, but a spiritual one, deeply rooted in Japanese culture. The Balkan Mountains. Stretching across the Balkan Peninsula in southeastern Europe, these mountains are a tapestry of diverse landscapes, cultures, and wildlife. They are a natural bridge between East and West, rich in biodiversity and history. From rolling hills to rugged peaks, the Balkans offer a glimpse into the region's rich history and natural beauty. The mountains are home to ancient ruins, medieval fortresses, and a variety of flora and fauna, making them a treasure trove for explorers and historians alike. Section 7. Life on high: how mountains affect climate and ecosystems. Mountains are not just majestic landscapes, they play a crucial role in shaping the climate and ecosystems around them. Mountains are like giant weather makers, influencing the environment in profound ways. They influence temperature, rainfall, and wind patterns, creating microclimates that support unique ecosystems. These microclimates can vary dramatically over short distances, leading to a rich diversity of life. As you climb a mountain, you'll notice that the temperature drops. This temperature gradient is a key factor in the distribution of plant and animal species. That's because the air gets thinner at higher altitudes and it can't hold as much heat. This results in cooler temperatures and often more extreme weather conditions. Mountains also create a barrier for clouds, affecting weather patterns on both sides of the range. When moist air from the ocean hits a mountain range, it's forced to rise. This process is known as orographic lift. As the air rises, it cools and the moisture condenses, forming clouds and precipitation. This is why mountains often have lush, green sides facing the prevailing winds. This is why one side of a mountain range might be lush and green, while the other side is dry and arid. The rain shadow effect creates stark contrasts in vegetation and climate. The unique climates and habitats found on mountains support an incredible diversity of plant and animal life. These ecosystems are often isolated, leading to high levels of endemism. From snow leopards prowling the high peaks of the Himalayas to mountain gorillas roaming the rainforests of the Virunga Mountains, these creatures have evolved to thrive in their specific environments. These creatures have adapted to survive in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. Their survival strategies are as varied as the landscapes they inhabit, showcasing the resilience of life in mountainous regions. Section 8. Mountain versus hill. What's the difference? So, what's the difference between a mountain and a hill? It's a question that has puzzled many, and there's no easy answer. Generally, mountains are considered to be higher and steeper than hills, but there's no official height requirement for a landform to be classified as a mountain. In some parts of the world, a hill might be called a mountain, while in other regions, a mountain might be referred to as a hill. It all depends on local customs and perceptions. For example, in England and Wales, any summit over 610 meters, 2,000 feet, is called a mountain. Ultimately, the distinction between a mountain and a hill often comes down to how these landforms make us feel. Mountains inspire awe and wonder with their sheer size and ruggedness. Hills, on the other hand, are often seen as gentler and more inviting.